What's good, my amazing people? Welcome to Q&A with Speak Nay on Thursday, where we will answer questions that we've gotten in from friends, fans, family members, and my followers. We will talk about all things. We will answer all things to our best ability. Um, what I say is my opinion and how I feel about it. I also can tell you that everybody's not going to agree, and that's okay. I got my amazing co host, my wife, my best friend, my better half, Riri. So I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself.
Listen, hey everybody, how y'all doing? We've had an amazing week up to this point. I'm just looking forward to these questions that we had come in.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. So listen, we not even going to waste no time. We jumping right into it. So Q&A with Speak Now on Thursday. So
Yes.
Riri, what's the first question we got?
Listen, the first question that came in was, do you believe in love languages and are they important?
Do I believe in love languages and are they important?
Yes.
I think everybody wants to be loved a certain way. Me particularly, I don't believe in love languages. My belief is everybody wants to be loved in a certain way, but in order for you to love that person, how they want to be loved, you gotta know that person. You gotta spend time with that person. You gotta figure that person out. Because we're all different, and we all want to be loved different. But love is love.
Right.
Period.
I think that I believe in the love languages. I think that if yes, everyone wants to be loved differently, but if I'm a person who likes words of affirmation, you buying me a gift, it does nothing for me. Whether I would rather you tell me how much you love me, how you want to be with me, versus buying me a gift.
But that's a part of getting to know you, right?
Yes,
That's a part of getting to know you. Like, I wouldn't even call it my love language. You know that I enjoy physical touch. You
yes,
know that I love my back rubbed. You know that I like my head rubbed. You know these things.
right,
And you would know these things if you didn't get to know me. You
right.
know what I'm saying? So it's just the time spent. No
So
time wasted. It's time spent and
yes.
getting to know the person that you with, because everybody's not going to want the same thing.
Right. So the biggest part is getting to know your partner then and
Absolutely.
knowing what they want, what they
Absolutely.
need. Yeah.
Because if you don't know what they want, you will always be confused. Because most people don't ask you. They don't tell you what they want. When the time is spent, they want you to know that already. Especially women.
Okay, but do you think that's fair to just say, I want you to know, even if we spending time together, you would still say, I like to have this and I like to have that. Now it's my job to deliver on those things if I've heard them and I've acknowledged them.
So if we spent all the time together, what have I been paying attention to?
No,
If I don't know how to treat you, if I don't know how to love on you, if I don't know how to care for you, what have I been doing all this time we've been spending together? Like what have I been paying attention to? Like you hadn't had to in our courting, you didn't have to tell me. I paid attention to what you like.
what's my love language? If I
You
had one.
you listen, you have many. You
Many.
have many.
Yes,
You love gifts.
I do.
You love physical touch. You
Yes.
love cuddling. You you love me
Yes.
loving on you.
That's my love language right there.
And
That's
you
it.
didn't have to tell me that.
That's
I,
true.
I know that just off of paying attention and us spending time, us courting each other before the love.
Before the love.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So indeed,
All right.
indeed,
So as
indeed.
say, so getting to know the person. So a part of getting to know a person is knowing the insecurities of a person. So one of the questions came in. It says, I believe everyone has personal insecurities. How do you address them with your partner, or how do you deal with them?
we got to sit down at the round table and have a conversation. The conversations are important. Once again, time spent getting to know each other. I think questions for your partner is so important. We get so caught up in the honeymoon stage that we forget so many questions that we should ask. We don't never ask the right questions. We always get caught up asking the wrong questions, and then we wonder why we are having problems on the back end of the relationship. Tell me your insecurities now.
Right.
Tell me how you feel. Give me an opportunity to understand them and help you with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a mind reader.
Right.
I'm not a mind reader.
I think that yes, everyone does have personal insecurities. And some of them you can address with your partner, but I also think that that's the personal work that you do for yourself,
Indeed.
dealing
Indeed,
with
indeed.
your insecurities, because they can absolutely become triggers that could be harmful to the relationship if you don't deal with them.
And we definitely should be dealing with those insecurities in our singleness.
Yes.
We should definitely be dealing with our insecurities in our singleness. I think a lot of times too, though, we're jumping into relationships with toxic insecurities, and we could be with the person that we've always been praying for, but we don't know how to insert that person into our life because we still in a toxic situation in our minds with our ex. You know what I'm saying? So, or in a situationship that we've yet to cut off because we feel like I gotta date this person, I gotta be with this person, I gotta be talking to this person. I think your singleness is one of the most important things that you could ever do for yourself to understand your insecurities and moving forward.
And how to deal with them.
Facts.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Another question. It says, is your partner responsible for your happiness?
No,
No?
no, I am not responsible for your happiness at
Okay.
all. You are responsible for your own happiness. You should have been happy prior to getting into a relationship with me. If I got to be responsible for your happiness, what happens when you're not happy?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to be responsible for my happiness. I need to stand on business in my own happiness. So it's easier for our relationship to have unconditional happiness in it. Because if I'm going to give somebody the keys to my happiness, what happens when they lose those keys?
Right.
What happens when they use those keys for another door?
Okay.
What happens when they put them keys in somebody else's hand?
Okay, I can see that, but I believe that you can be when you're in a relationship, you can absolutely be a happy person. Your partner is responsible for maintaining your happiness,
I vouch for that. I rock with that.
meaning they shouldn't be doing anything that causes you to be unhappy,
Facts.
because then
For sure.
you are responsible for my happiness. So if I know that it's something that's going to disturb my partner's peace, I shouldn't be out here doing it.
Right.
So
Right.
ultimately, I feel like we are responsible. I'm not going to say for the person to be happy, but to maintain the happiness of the relationship.
And I also feel like if you feel like this person is not, or the person is doing something that contributes to your unhappiness, you probably need to move around. That person probably does not care as much about your happiness as you think they should. You know what I'm saying? Because they're doing things to hurt you. They're doing things to put you in a position of compromising who you are to be in a relationship that does not bring any happiness to you. So
Okay.
yeah, you definitely need to figure. And like I said, once again, that comes down to conversations being had. And some of the conversations are tough,
Right.
but we grown, so we're gonna sit at the round table and we're gonna figure this out.
We're gonna
And
talk about it.
we have to be okay with letting people go. Like, you have to be okay with saying, I love you enough to want to see you happy with somebody else. But people are so selfish.
Well, are they selfish? Or have they just put in the time in hopes and wanting the relationship to work?
How much time we talking about? Because
5 years,
if
10 years.
if it's not, but if it's not working, it's not working. And I love myself enough to want to see you happy, even if it ain't with me, because I know what's for me, and you ain't for me. I know that you're not for me, so we're not going to keep ourselves in cement trying to make something work when it's not working. Yes, I love you, but I love you enough to let you go and move on with your life, and me move on with mine, and us both find somebody who ultimately makes us happy.
Can we double back?
If I didn't found somebody else, I'm not doubling
Ain't
back.
no doubling back.
Listen, listen. If we have made a decision to move past, and you say what 5 years, and we've made a decision to move forward in our life and find something. Well, in my singleness, I'm healing. I'm not just jumping into anything right away.
Right.
I've definitely have given it to God and let Him sort out my heart, and in my healing process and in my singleness, still knowing exactly what I want out of a woman. That's the most important thing, because when you don't know what you want, you will always be just
Searching.
allowing anything in your life.
Right.
But when you know exactly what you want out of your partner, out of your woman, out of your man, you will absolutely do the work that's required to be happy.
Right. And you can still be doing the work once you're in a relationship, because I don't think that just because you get into a relationship that you stop working on yourself.
Absolutely
It's a
not.
continuous
Absolutely.
thing. We are forever changing.
We continue evolving.
Exactly. And so I think conversations are always taking place within that relationship. And when the conversations stop taking place, that's where the miscommunication comes in at.
Right.
So, transitioning to the next question with communication. It says communications in relationships is important. However, how do you deal with your partner when your partner communicates differently? And you know, they say men and women are definitely different in communicating.
So I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one, because you absolutely know how I communicate. So I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one.
I think so. The question says, how do you deal with your partner when both communicate differently? I definitely think there is some compromise when it comes to communication, but it goes back to knowing your partner and spending time and learning your partner. Whereas one person may we want to talk about it right now. Like, no, I want to deal with it right now. I want to talk about it. And the other person is kind of like, give me a minute. Let me process it before we talk about it. There's times for both of them. There's a season for both of them. I don't think that it goes all one way, like we got to talk about it right now. But that comes with knowing your partner, where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna give us some space until we talk about it. Or she's like, no, let's talk about it right now. So I think it's a give and take with you and your partner, and y'all have to decide what works when it's time to have those conversations.
Well, for me, communication is definitely top tier on my list, because there is no reason for us not to communicate. And I'm talking about healthy communication.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I put myself in a position to give my wife the space to communicate when she sees fit. But there's also a space where we grown, and this is something that needs to be talked about right now. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait till later. It's urgent. We need to get this figured out right now so we can move forward. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man that's going to communicate with you regardless. If I'm going somewhere, I'm going to let you know. If I'm changing spots, I'm going to let you know. And it has everything to do with me just being a husband.
Right.
And my woman and my wife knowing exactly where I'm at, exactly whom I'm with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of guys would be like, oh, you checking in, and you doing this, you doing that. Listen, I got a wife.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if my wife can't get in contact with me, she know exactly who I'm with in the last place where I'm at. She got my location and everything. Ain't communication is so important to me because there's people out here who are making excuses why they don't communicate. And there should be no reason why you're not communicating with somebody that you say you love or that you
Right.
say you want to be with or that you say you want to spend your life with, especially your wife.
Right.
There should be no reason why you saying communication is hard for you.
Right. And
Grow up.
for husbands as well. Like I've heard women say, "I'm not calling it. He don't need to know where I'm at, or he'll see me when I get back." And I'm like, "Wait a minute,
Not my wife. We ain't even in that space.
I'm like, well, wait, that's your husband. Like he should know where you at. Like he don't need to know that you going to the next store. But if you said, "Hey, me and the girls, we going here," and now we moving spaces, like you should communicate.
We're in a space where we're doing everything else other than communicating with the most important person in our life.
That's
If I say I'm doing this and we decide to do this, I can shoot you a text. Hey, baby, this club was whack. We heading over here.
Right.
Or, hey, babe, listen, we just got out the club. It's 2:30 in the morning. Hey, we headed back. We headed back to the suite. You know what I'm saying? Like it got to be honest communication. Hey, baby, listen, I'm full. I didn't had too many drinks.
Right.
I'm gonna stay over. I'm gonna stay over Zach's house tonight.
I'm gonna be like, "Hey, you want me to come pick you up?"
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Absolutely.
Me the addy.
We gotta put this stuff out there because we got to be honest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, babe, listen, I can't. I done had too much to drink. I can't drive. Can you come get me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, like I said, in some cases, I am gonna stay with the guys. I'm gonna stay with the guys. I'm gonna stay in the suite with the guys. We've been chilling all night. I'm not going home. But once again, that's a conversation I had before I even left the house.
Right. Like that's already been communicated.
It's already been
know
communicated.
what the plan is.
Indeed.
I do think that how is this your man, your man, your woman, your wife, your husband, and they the last one to find out what you doing.
We had this conversation 2 weeks ago because I absolutely know when I was going 2 weeks ago. Listen, I'm grown, and the guys that I deal with is grown. I'm at an age where we got to plan stuff. Listen, I'm at the age where we got to have stuff planned. I'm in the bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock. Like we got to have stuff planned.
Right.
So, because my wife comes first, so we may have had something planned here, but now on the back end, my guys got something planned. Hey, fellas, I'm out this weekend. Me and baby got this plan.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I'm not doing, I'm not rescheduling plans with my wife.
Right.
Well, the plans with my wife is the reason why we grown. We absolutely know what we doing. Now, if my boy going through something one night and he just trying to hang out, what up, Ice? Hey, man, listen, I'm going through something, man. Can you meet me at PT's or can you meet me here? Hey, babe. Hey, listen, my guy needs somebody to talk to. I'm gonna head out for a couple hours. I'll call you when I get there. That type of communication.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's top tier communication right there. Everybody they don't have the luxury
everybody ain't operating on that type of frequency because everybody want to play games. Oh, listen, I'm going out, but I don't want my woman to know where I'm at.
Yeah, that's
listen.
Right.
Well, she ain't finna be calling me or knowing you with me, and I got the lie for you and all that. No, we not doing none of that, dog.
Not on duty. Not on duty.
Don't set me up. Then you say what I should have said. Well, you didn't tell me what to say.
Right. No, how about we just be honest?
Absolutely.
From the get go, then ain't nobody got to do none of that. Like, no.
Right.
All right. So
I've been in too many situations where you listen. For real.
I don't think I've ever had to do that before. Like, that's not even the type of time. Like, nah,
listen,
that's we not doing
I definitely been on that type of time and a lot of situations that didn't work out because it may not have come out at that point.
Right.
But 2 or 3 months later, we done had the same conversation with all these people, and somebody that slipped up
and said something. It's coming up again.
And now it's like it happened yesterday.
And now I'm looking at you like
honesty is the best policy. Communication is really important for sure.
Exactly. So it says, what does accountability look like in a relationship? have a thought, but I'm gonna
Accountability in a relationship.
Yes, what does that
Keep
look
it.
like?
Listen. Be you. Be your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
If you wrong, you wrong.
Okay.
If you wrong, you wrong. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with apologizing.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if I do something, I am not sorry. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
If I did something, I'm not sorry. I meant to do it.
Okay.
But I'm absolutely going to apologize for it if I'm wrong.
Okay.
People be saying sorry all the time. You ain't sorry. You sorry because you got caught.
That's why you sorry.
That's why you sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's the apology. It's not the sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for, the disrespect. I'm not sorry for coming home late. I'm not sorry for not taking out the trash. I ain't sorry for none of that. But I apologize because I was wrong, and it won't happen again.
Oh, okay. Because I was trying to see where you was going with that.
That's the accountability.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And being and me being man enough to say that, because I've been wrong a lot in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and there were points in my life where I didn't hold myself accountable, and it was everybody else's fault.
Right.
Well, guess what? Everybody else changed but me. I happened to be the common denominator when it came to a lot of problems I was having in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It was me. So now I'm in a space where if it's me, I can honestly sit down at the round table with whoever I'm having the situation with,
Mm-hmm.
and say, that's my fault.
Right.
It's my fault. And I take that.
Right.
Cause even at 44, I'm still learning. Even at 44, I'm still evolving, still becoming I'm still evolving into the man that God has called me to be. So I'm not always going to be right. And I don't want to be, because it's the learning process for me.
Right. I think a part of the accountability is the acknowledgement. Sometimes in relationships, we just move past a situation.
Right.
And we never acknowledge it. We just kind of like sweep it under the rug and just move on. But a big thing for accountability is acknowledgement that, yes, I was wrong. I should have done it this way. I should have had the conversation. I should have communicated. I should have, let you know what was going on. Or, yeah, my bad. I said I was, but I didn't. I'll be more attentive to that. I think sometimes people think that in relationships, if they acknowledge the wrong, that they are lesser in the relationship. And it's like, no, that's how you strengthen your relationship. You build it up by acknowledging, like, listen, I know for me, communication is a big thing, because I haven't always been in that space to have to do that or even want to do that.
Right. I met you in a space where I met you in a space where communication was definitely not your strong suit, but you definitely understood what communication meant to me. So you adapted easy because I was the man that you want to be with.
Yes.
Straight like that.
My handsome. So,
indeed.
When you believe that this is the person that God has blessed you with, you want to be in a relationship with this person, you will make the necessary changes.
Absolutely.
To be with that person.
Absolutely.
I just believe that. Okay, so next question. If there's never any conflict, do you believe that one person is not being their true self?
No.
No?
No. And what kind of conflict we talking about?
Whatever.
Because
any kind.
Everybody not fighting and arguing. Let's just be clear. Every couple ain't fighting and arguing.
Okay.
There's just some people that genuinely they understand each other.
Okay.
They agree to disagree and they keep it moving. They ain't fighting and arguing and all of that. Like, nah.
Well, even with you saying agree to disagree, that there still had to be some conflict or disagreement.
A conversation. We can agree to disagree on a conversation.
Right.
And agree to disagree. We ain't gonna always like the same stuff. We not always gonna agree. Oh, it should only be like this, and me and you agree on it. Nah.
No, because we're gonna talk about it.
We absolutely gonna have a conversation.
To a middle ground.
Everybody not arguing all the time.
Okay.
People true self is who they are. How many okay, so how many times have we argued in our relationship? And what we say, 2 years?
Yeah.
2 years? So in 2 years, how many times have we had an argument?
We haven't had an argument. I don't think we haven't.
Not
Yeah.
one. Not we hadn't had one argument. We hadn't
No.
had one argument. We have agreed to disagreed on some things, but we
Right.
hadn't had one fight. We hadn't been mad at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like none of that. Like
Now I will get in my I do get in my moods or whatever, but
listen, don't let her fool y'all. It sound good for the camera.
no, I'm just saying like because you used to be like laughing and talking and being playful, and then like I might have a moment where I'm just kind of like extra quiet, not talking, just
But that's when but see, I know you.
right,
So I know something is going on with you. So let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. What can I do to make you feel better?
right,
What can I do to comfort you? You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, I want to be I want to be your safe space.
right,
I don't want you to fear me. I don't want
Right.
to. I'm not gonna raise my voice at you. I'm not gonna yell at you, scream at you, put my hands on you. Like we not finna do none of that.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Because you are my best friend, and
right,
a lot of times, a lot of men, and I would say a lot of women too, they want to puff their chest out. They're too prideful.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got to be running a relationship. Nah,
Oh yeah,
I am absolutely the leader. I'm absolutely the leader of our relationship. But there are just some things that I can't lead in because I don't know nothing about it. So I don't mind giving passing you leadership in situations that you know more than I do. Because we at the end of the day we a team.
right.
We a team.
And I don't mind the leadership. Like I want to be able to sit back and just be like, he got it. I don't have to worry about it because he got it. Like, and then if need be, babe, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. Okay,
Real talk.
because I don't drive no more. Like
I done turned into an Uber driver for real. Taxi cab
I
for real.
don't drive nowhere.
For real. For real.
All right, next question. What's your this is perfect, right into it. What's your view on gender roles in a relationship?
There are just some things that you're not doing. There are just some things that I'm not allowing you to do in our home. Like you're not taking out the trash. You're not pumping gas. You're not changing tires. There are just some things that you're not doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's just some things that you just gonna do. You don't allow me to make you don't allow me to make my plate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't allow me to. I'm not even so allow. You don't want me washing dishes and stuff like that. But
Right.
they're not roles. These are things that all the things that you do for me, I absolutely can do. Like I
Right.
don't mind washing dishes. I don't mind doing laundry. All those things, making plates and stuff like that. So for me, gender roles is it works for it. Whatever works for you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I just have a different aspect on it. Whatever works for you. I mean,
Right.
but there's just some things that I'm not allowing you to do, and it has everything to do with me being the man, for sure.
Well, I believe in gender roles. So
Whatever that look like for you.
right, whatever that looks like for me, because I don't want to take out the trash.
You don't.
I'm not taking out the trash. Like I just feel like that is a man's job to take out the trash. It's a man's job to rake the yard. Like that's just how I feel. But like you said, whatever works for your
But
relationship.
but I also think that you feel that way because of the father that you had too. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? A lot of that has to do with upbringing too, because a lot of men who didn't have that type of upbringing, they don't believe in a lot of these things. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I didn't grow up with my father, but I grew up with my grandfather, who was big on discipline and was a disciplinarian, and cleaning up, making the bed before you get your day started, walking out of the house. Like, he was big on just taking the trash out, don't letting the trash get full, picking up the stuff around, make sure your clothes is ironed, shoes is neat. These are things that my grandfather was big on, and at 44, I'm still big on those things now. Ironing before I go to bed, making sure things are set for the next day.
Right.
You know.
And like you said, it depends on like how you was raised. So I definitely was raised in, my daddy could absolutely cook. He could do all those things, but 98% of the time my mama was cooking.
Real
She
talk.
was gonna fix my dad's plate. Like, it's nothing for us to have an event where you see all the men sit back and the women are going to fix the plates for the men. But that's just how we was raised. It's just how it came about. All right, our last question of the night. You ready?
Lay it on me.
All right. Describe your relationship with your parent of the opposite sex. How has it influenced the way you treat your mate?
Read that again for me.
All right.
Read that again for me.
Describe your relationship with your parent of the opposite sex, so your mom,
Yeah. Yeah.
and how has it influenced the way you treat your mate?
So for me, my mother was my best friend. If you didn't know, from my books and stuff like that, my mother passed away when I was 9, and she was the most amazing woman ever. My mom dealt with bad relationships. I watched my mom deal with bad relationships, and and my mother never really bringing, besides my father, never really bringing a man into the home. You know what I'm saying? So the way that my mother was for me, and even in my life, like, I still had my troubles with relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was relationships where I wasn't the man I was supposed to be. There were relationships where I was very, very toxic in the relationship. But it didn't disqualify me from being a husband. It didn't disqualify me from understanding and knowing that I could be, or that I am, a good man, even with the troubles that I had. So now in my marriage now, like, I do think about my mother a lot. Like, I really do. And I know that my mother would definitely wouldn't want me treating my wife or any other woman with disrespect at any form of it. Like, be respectful and handle your business. So that's just what it is. Yeah.
I think about, the question says, describe your relationship with your parent of the opposite sex. So I'm gonna start with that part first. So when I think about my dad, like my dad was the coolest man to me. Like my daddy could do no wrong. I just thought my dad was so amazing.
Right.
And so, like, me and my dad, my dad would call me every single day. I could almost time it. 6 a.m., my dad's gonna call me every morning. And then it say, how has it influenced your relationship with the way you treat your partner now? Um, I think about how happy my mom made my dad. And so, like, I want to be able to do that for my husband. Like, I
Facts.
want to be able to see him. Like, my daddy didn't have to worry about nothing. Like, as far as like in the home, and I'm sure like outside stuff, work, life, yes, that happens. But as far as like my mom taking care of my dad as a woman, like, I always would tell my mom, like, you are a virtuous woman, and I just I just want to be a virtuous woman like you. So I think about my man now, and I just be like, I want to do all the things to make him happy, like my daddy was happy. Like I aspire to that.
You absolutely do that. Like I told you, like I've been around all different types of women. I've dated all different types, from the Instagram model to the lawyer, the all of that. And I've never in my life, never met a woman like you before. Never. Never. So for me, I'm the blessed one. You feel me? Like I'm the blessed one. God really answered my prayer in my singleness when I was talking to him. So do your thing, guy.
Listen, we on it. That's it for tonight. We don't got no more questions.
So listen, this has been Q&A with Speak Nay on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do there's gonna be a lot of things going on. If you guys got any podcast names that you want to throw out, like I've been going back and forth with podcast names and trying to get stuff figured out, and I just hadn't figured it out. So we just gonna get some content put out. We just gonna be putting out content. I ain't got no podcast name yet, but we just gonna be putting some content out. I'm gonna have some amazing guests coming on. We're gonna be talking sports. We're gonna be talking business. We're gonna be talking life. We're gonna be talking about so many different topics. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you tune in. Speak Nay Visions. Speak Nay. I got my beautiful, amazing wife right here, Riri. She kind of do all the she do all the business side. She do all the bookings and all that kind. She do all the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I'm gonna have some of my amazing guests on. Some of my friends, some of my brothers, some of my sisters, and we gonna talk life. We're gonna speak life. We're gonna be real, honest, authentic, and just give love and receive it. You know what I'm saying? So, I would just like to say, keep pushing, win the day, don't give up. You absolutely deserve all the blessings that God got for you. You got anything else, Riri?
I'm like you. Keep moving forward. Keep striving to be great.
So won't you go ahead and hit that applause button for your boy? So listen, my beautiful people, it's all love. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. What was that?
They got a comment too.
Hey, comment. Let us know how you feel. You got any questions? Put the questions in the chat. Put the questions in the chat. And the whole time we've been listening to that new Jacquees, Back to Me. It's right on time for Valentine's Day. You heard me. Hey,
Valentine's
fellas.
Day?
Valentine's Day.
Is that for men too?
Nah. Valentine's Day is a man-made holiday only for women.
No, it's not. It's for men too.
You just want to buy a gift.
I might have something planned. What you talking about?
If you gonna do that, you might as well get the rose petals.
Ow.
The rose petals, the candles.
All that.
You heard me? Nah, I'm just playing. But we love y'all. Y'all be blessed, and we'll talk to y'all soon. One.